The other day I was logging that I had finished yet another reread of one of my absolute favourite 5-star reads on Goodreads. Kind of got me thinking about all of my other 5-star reads. I'm not gonna lie, when I started scrolling and seeing some of the titles, it got me thinking, have my tastes changed? Are these still a 5-star? And what makes a book a 5-star anyway? So in order to answer these questions, I had the great idea to spend a week rereading all my favourite 5-star reads to see if they still lived up to the rating. Okay, so I've just been going back through all of my old Goodreads ratings, and what an absolute trip to go back and see what little old you thought about books way back when. So I've got a nice little list of books that I think I'm going to reread. I've had to put a few stipulations on this challenge. There are a few books on that list that I have read recently just because they're like my comfort reads. I've decided not to include those because I've reread them. And then I'm also, for that same reason, not going to include any 5-star that I found or have read in the last year for the first time. So I've decided to go way back when, because what I'm actually very curious about is, do these older 5-star reads stand the test of time? Has my reading evolved? I need answers. I've got a few different picks. We're gonna get into reading. Let's get to the first book. The book that I'm gonna be reading first is Twilight. I didn't see that coming, honestly. So I just finished Onyx Storm in a previous reading vlog, and I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but there was something in that kind of was giving Twilight. I got reminiscing, thought of this book, and I was like, you know what? I demolished this book series. And yeah, it was a love affair. It was a good time. It's been a hot minute since I read them, and I'm very curious to see if they are still a 5-star in a different stage of life. Wish me luck. I'm sorry. He gives her his jacket, and all I can think about is Satan's flight jacket. Okay, but why is he... Okay, I've either read Onyx Storm and Fourth Wing way too recently, and I'm just seeing Xaden everywhere, but is original Xaden? Was he inspiration and we just missed it? If so, I'm reeling. If you've managed to get this far and not have heard anything about this book, and you've managed to not watch the movies, and if you haven't, please don't. We're following Bella, who moves from Phoenix to live with her dad in this town called Forks. What makes this town really special is that it only receives like 5 days of sunlight a year, which makes for a very perfect place where a clan of vampires hide out. She moves into the school and she notices this family. They're a little odd, they're a little weird, they're very pale. And lo and behold, we see Edward, who is just immediately like very standoffish and weird around her. And she's like, what did I do wrong? Yada, yada. And then all of a sudden he's like, no, actually, like I've been trying to avoid you and I don't want to anymore. She's like trying to figure out why he's so different. That's pretty much the gist. Okay, so I've read this morning, I've done a little bit of work, and now I want to get back to reading, but I don't want to sit on the couch because this winter is bumming me out and I need to go move my body. So we're going to keep going. It's going well though. And I have to follow up my previous comments about Xaden and Edward. They're not the same character, obviously. They're so very different. But I still stand by the fact that he is inspiration. Stand by it. Anyway, I'm gonna go and continue to read. Let's go. So I am going to tempt fate and attempt to sit down and read because I actually brought my Kindle. We're going to see how that goes because my dog is a psycho and loves to run around like a crazy person. So we'll see if she lets me. Hi. I'm going to go sit down, okay?
Good job.
Yeah, this is gonna go well. Oh gosh. Hi, I do love you. I know. Okay, we're cuddling now. Alright. Well, Maya has left us. So I actually finished Twilight 2 days ago now. Did I demolish that book? Yes, I did. Did I have such a fun time while reading it? Again, yes. So much fun. Am I incredibly conflicted how to rate this? So very much so. When I finished reading, I went immediately over to Goodreads. I was shamed, like truly shamed by all of the people. If you're not on Goodreads, you can see everyone who you follow, what their ratings are of the book that you're looking at. And so here I am, like really not sure what to think. And I'm seeing everyone I admire and respect being like 3 star, 2 star, 1 star. And I'm like, well, I just sat down to see if this was maybe a 5 star, so that was a bit awkward. And look, in many ways, I'm very happy that I read this book for this challenge because it really does make you think, what makes a book qualify as a 5 star read? There was so many things that were going right for it. Was there also cringy things that I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Is this a 5 star book? I'm gonna say probably not, because there are little things that I'd probably change. But did I have a fantastic time for the second time? Yes, great time. Do I conclusively think that the books should be the only thing that exists and the movies should go burn in some corner of hell? Yes, also yes. I think for me, one of the measures of a 5 star personally has been when I finish it, could I immediately pick it back up and start the book again? Like that means that it's at least a 4.5 for me. And not gonna lie, when I finished, I was like, I could go again. I could go a take 2. So it's probably sitting at a 4. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna stop ranting because I'll be here all day. Okay, we're gonna get into the second book. The sun is setting out my bedroom window. It's kind of cute and cozy up here. I have a fun drink because I can't drink anything too fun, caffeinated. I'm drinking magnesium because it's good for you, in case no one's told you. Have your magnesium. And we're gonna get into the second book, which is Night Circus. All I know when I added this to my pile is that this was a 5 star purely from feeling. You know, you travel to a place and you cannot remember what you saw there, but you know that you liked the place. Essentially what happened for me here. But I could not tell you one bit about the plot. Not one bit. I could maybe recall, obviously circus, it's in the title. Can a book that is so forgettable be a 5 star? So I made a good little headway on this yesterday. I'm about 150 pages in. We're following 2 characters, Cecilia, Marco. They have been selected from when they were really little to compete in a magical challenge by 2 older magicians. Cecilia is one of the magician's daughter, and then the other one, I don't know if they're related. I think he just chose this boy. So that's kind of what's happening. We're kind of unpacking it, and the way that it's told is really interesting and unique. It is seriously atmospheric. So I'm gonna sit down. Oh my god, so we're gonna get cozy and we're going to read this book. So I think one thing that makes this book really whimsical, we are not only trying to like solve what this contest is, because it's very unclear like what they're actually competing for. We're not really sure why they're doing it,
they don't really understand why they're doing it, which is very interesting. So trying to unpack that. But then you've also got these other people who are viewing the circus from the outside, which is very fascinating. It feels like they're all gonna come to a head at some point, like they're all gonna come together, but we just don't know why or how. And I truly am reading this for the first time because I remember nothing, but I'm hoping Prior Me was on the money with a 5-star read, so we'll keep going.
Okay, so I finished and I'm spinning out. So I finished this about a week ago and I have not picked up another book since. I was meant to get into my next 5-star read, but I'm reeling. I'm having a hard time. I finished this and my immediate thought was like, I don't know if this is a 5-star. Like it's a 4.5 at least. Don't get me wrong, it's great. It's a great book. I love the characters. We had the multiple POVs all kind of like came together at the end. It's quirky, it's weird, it's fun. The writing style is beautiful. Is it a 5 though? I no longer know. I've lost the plot. I have no context of what a 5-star means anymore. I have overthought this to the point of exhaustion. And I really think I actually need to sit down and reevaluate what a 5-star actually means to me. And maybe I actually have to just like let go of the fact that maybe something that I have rated 5-star in the past may not hold the test of time. It may just evolve as my reading tastes evolve. Don't know. So anyway, that one's wrapped. I have been procrastinating getting into the next book like there's no tomorrow. My next 5-star read that was on the list that I'm now really nervous to get into because this one is one of those that has sat on my like god tier for a while, just being like, that book was excellent. Great Gatsby. I'm not alone here. This is a great book. I am nervous to reread it though, because what about if it's not as good as I remember? What about, you know, like, yeah, I'm nervous. So I'm going to get changed and then I'm going to go to the cafe and I'm going to read in like an outdoor setting so I don't have anything else to distract myself with. And I'm gonna hope I get into it. I also have the audiobook, so I might just like do both. So let's go to the cafe. Let's see how it goes. We just got back from the cafe and it is raining outside, so it is ultimate cozy reading weather. Jake has just made me a bubble tea. Life's good, so I've got that. I'm gonna keep reading. Thoughts so far, already powered through like 80 pages or 90 pages. We're pretty close to halfway. The descriptions in this book are insane. Truly just anything that you could describe, he has like thought of such a unique way to describe it that I just don't see in my, like, I haven't really seen that to this extent in other books. For that reason alone, I can truly understand why it is such a classic, why it is so iconic. I'm gonna plug back in with the audiobook, keep reading. Also, I feel like I should just mention, I just take it for granted that everyone has read this book, but we're following Nick, who has moved to Long Island to visit his cousin, I believe. He moves in across the way from this guy named Gatsby, who throws these really intense parties, who has a really interesting backstory, and we're just kind of unpacking who this mysterious Gatsby guy is, and just the way the protagonist shares the story is almost in correspondence after the fact, so he's kind of jumping back and telling you important details, and it's still very interesting the way it's written. That's what we're up to right now. Let's get back into it. Also, just a little side note that as you're reading this, you do have to remember that it was written in the 1920s, so some things that he says that are very, very politically incorrect
context. That's all. He also says that rent was $80 for the month, so. Well, that is a wrap on The Great Gatsby. Positive news is I'm pretty sure it still holds its title of 5-star. Yay. Downside is I still really don't know what I classify as 5-star. I feel like this challenge has just thrown me into a headspin. In some ways it's been really good because it's probably something I should figure out for myself. Overall, I had a really good time. I love this book in that you can just like sit down and devour it in a day. This is something very satisfying about hearing the whole story. And just the narration style. The narrator is kind of taking you through the story, so it feels very natural the way it is told. Like a friend would tell you a story of something that happened. Anyway, so I think I need to have a sit down and have a genuine, like a pretty good think about what exactly a 5-star is. If you have like a good system for rating books and you like really know your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s, feel free to jump them in the comments because obviously I need help. Okay, so I just did a bit of a Google because apparently I've lost the plot on all meaning of what a 5-star read is through this video. And I've stumbled across a Goodreads article, and essentially it is asking people, what does it take for a book to earn a 5-star rating? These are some of the responses. It cured my depression, cleared my acne, and aligned my chakras. That I think even the guy who loaded the book onto the delivery truck did a perfect job. I couldn't put it down and I was sad when it was done. I want to read it again and again and again. I will have difficulty finding my next read because this one really rocked me. I didn't guess the ending. I disagree. I think you can guess the ending and still find it a 5-star. Forgot to sleep, eat, and everything else until I finished it. Okay, this one's kind of deep. It means that the characters came to matter to me. They were authentic. They drew me in, and I came to care about them. A 5-star book has changed me in some way that I can't even necessarily name. Okay, I think that might be the winner. But yeah, I would love to know, what does a book have to do to earn a 5-star rating for you? Because these responses are really sweet.